Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Learner and my name is Teza. Creative Learner is a great place to learn tips and tricks for Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects today and Clip Studio Premiere tutorials. Many tutorials are coming. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook page as well so that you will be notified when we upload a new tutorial. So this week we are going to create some snowfall like lighting CGI reveal effects in After Effects. So let's take a look what we are going to create. So as you can see that we are going to be like playing back this animation, but there will be a before and after revealing thing. So that is not really tough thing, but if you are really new to After Effects or animation thing, so today's tutorial will be really useful for you. So let's get into Illustrator and let's get started. So in Illustrator, so as you can see on my screen, so I have already prepared all the elements that needed in our animation. So I have been highlighting all the Illustrator thing like the last tutorials, many tutorials. So the animation element we need to prepare in Illustrator because you can use your Photoshop, but I've been telling you how easy to do things and build up things. Let's say today will be the lighting effect here. That one also, if you build it in Illustrator, that will be really useful and easy. Building some lighting effects in After Effects. Okay, so in Illustrator, I have already prepared everything, but you need to separate every object you're drawing into a layer, separate layer, meaning like you must prepare, let's say you have this hand here. So if the hand is like combining that layer into the background layer, you won't be able to animate things. So that will be one thing that will be the key point here. So if you do not separate the layer into individual animation elements, so you won't be able to animate in After Effects. So what I did is let me close all the layer here. So this one is I did 30 days of Photoshop in Myanmar language. So that is unfortunately not in Myanmar. So I did a series for that. But at the end, I make this the end photo manipulation. This is my wife and my son. Inside they have COVID-19 idea, and so they are stay home and enjoying the Christmas season. So that is I did in Photoshop series. So after drawing that done in Photoshop, that is not in Illustrator, but I made in Photoshop. But when we I can do things in Photoshop as well, but I want to highlight animation element preparing in Illustrator. Now my thinking is there will be it's a Christmas season, so I was thinking there will be some snowfall, but the snow won't be falling outside of this the cube, so my thinking is the snow will be inside of the house. So that one, to make it is I need a mask. So I prepare a mask in Illustrator. That one also really easy. If let me show back this mask. I won't be drawing everything. Let's say there's a mask. After that I have, so mask also I put it in one layer. So that is the concept or the key idea here. So if not, you won't be able to animate. So I separated just only mask one layer. You can name it as a mask or whatever layer you want it. Let's say let me rename it. This is a mask. So after that I have at the top of one. Let me open it up. This is a lighting. I was thinking there will be some device lighting protection at the house or some kind of thing. So there will be the lighting here at the top of it. So after that one also easy to draw in Illustrator, and also building this element in Illustrator will be more easier animating in After Effects. I will show you later. After that I have done this hand. So my thing is some CGI revealing playback thing. So the hand will pop up from the bottom to the top, and then after that there will be a playback button here. So that will be pause. I think the pause icon we might not need it. So let me keep it, but I don't think we will need it. But so that is the idea, that building individually layer in Illustrator. So let me show you the marks thing. I won't be drawing everything. I mean, just a simple, like I want to highlight the building things in Illustrator, how easy it is. So let me delete it back. So I will delete it back on marks layer. So after that, just now I said that the snow will be falling inside the house. So I need to mark out this area only. So what I can do is you can use your pen tool to mark this the cube here. But in Illustrator, we have a really easy tool to use. So I will just simply use the rectangle tool here. So after that, I can just click and drag, like make it your size enough like that. So after that, I can bring it up like so. So in Illustrator, we know that there's a widget. So using the direct selection tool, I can simply click and drag inward. So just like that. So when I have this cube, I can bring up all the cube at the corner. If not, you can bring up at the top corner also. So I have already like show you how it is. I mean, how to use the widget in previous tutorial, many tutorials. So this is my cube here. So if I don't see, I can simply like move things around. But actually, this is already at the place. So at the bottom, what I can do is using the direct selection tool, I can click on the object and then click again at the corner anchor point. So after that, you can bring it inwardly, the widget here, just like that. So when you see that, I mean, you're saying that, hey, why not? I mean, there's something is wrong, but don't worry, you can simply adjust everything in Illustrator. So just like that. If not, what you can do is, I mean, also same thing, what you will build is you can simply bring up this thing here first. So after that, you can bring down the anchor point here a little bit down. So that is somehow covering it. So after that, you can using the handle inward a little bit. So also here, you can bring it down the handle. So how easy it is as well. So that is not to be, if you want to accurate it, I can adjust it back. So I will leave it just like that. Like that is enough. So after that, I can same thing. I mean, this thing, we can bring our widget here just like that. We can make it at the same time. I mean, the both anchor point, but I want to show you how to do things like so that you can be understand more. I mean, how to use the anchor point, handle, and widget here just like that. So after that, we have done. If you want it really nicely done, you can just simply adjust it back. Let's say you can move this thing a little bit inside. This thing can bring it down like so. So after that, handle, bring it up a bit. So just like that. So that will be covering everything. In After Effects, that will not be really obvious. I mean, you can simply put like that. So after that, I can bring it down and then using the handle a little bit and then bring it inside just like that. So that will be masking building in Illustrator. So that's how I built all the individual layer in Illustrator. Now I have included my marks as well. So once you have done building elements in Illustrator, you simply go to your file and then after that you can save the file. So when you save the file, you have done, I mean, make sure that you know where you save the file. So after that, you come back to After Effects, sorry. So in After Effects, in first tutorial I told that, I mean, if your screen is not same as to me, you can just go to window menu and workspace. So there you can choose any workspace preset here. So I choose the default and then reset to default will be like make sure your your screen will be same as me. But here's a effect window here, but I show you how to do it. So if you want to move the manually like positioning the panel here, so you can bring it like an effect window here. If you leave it like that, it will be at the corner. If you go to the top, that will be snapping at the top. So that will be depends on you. So how I did the effect window menu appearing in between of the composition view and then timeline view, effect project. I mean, sorry, this is a project already. Let me bring it at the top. My thing is effect should be at the side of the project. So that will effect, that will be project. So when you need to open the Illustrator file to After Effects. So to do that, go to File and then you can choose your import file. If not, simple ways, I mean, Adobe or the Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever software you are using, you can click and drag into that screen, you know. So make sure you locate your file and then you need to click and drag into the project panel. So when I click and drag it, when I let go my mouse, there will be those like option thing, you will see that there's a unique composition of footage. So make sure you use the composition because we need a layer. So that will be keeping composition in layer. So and then document size, because we don't want the other side, so we want the document size built in Illustrator. I click OK. So that is now we are ready to start animation thing, but right now you're not seeing anything yet. So what to do is go to day 30 stay home composition. That is in After Effects we call it composition. So that is similar to group in like Illustrator and Photoshop. It's the same thing, you are grouping everything, but in After Effects you have this composition thing. When you like double click that composition, that will be, you see that all the layers are stacked in timeline window. This is a timeline window, and then after that there will be a composition preview. Your like building everything in Illustrator is started appearing here. So now let's start animation. In After Effects, to do animation at least we need a keyframes. So how to start this? Let me start with the simple snowfall first. So to see the snowfall, I don't need the top layer, so I know that what a layer, you can name it. Let's say, what if we name here, that is we will name it like light, and after that one will be, we will name it, this is a hand. So to rename it, you press enter key on your keyboard, and then after you can type it, that will be a hand. So after that, that name will be, this one is play icon. So sorry, if you double click, it will go into the layer view in After Effects. So you can close it back. You can just select your layer, press enter, and then you can name it. That is let me double check, this is a play button. So there's a play, and then this is I think pause, we don't need it, I will delete it, that layer. So now we have the layers are named, and then the button will be, this is a BG background. So now we have it, everything is layer. Name it. So after that, I will start with the simple snow effect to our whole, inside the cube, so there will be some like a cube like stay home thing. So and the outside is there's a coral vinyls are there, so it's a stay home concept. So right now I will not do anything, like you just go to like this, the left side we have this eye, so you click and you can close it back. So I will close it everything. So to add the snowfall in After Effects is easy. There's a many way. If you want it like customized, like those like a snowfall flakes or whatever you want, you can build it in Illustrator, but I will not be doing those detailed things. But I want to show you how easy to add snow in After Effects. Go to Effect menu, but right now you need to add a new layer first. So to add a new solid layer in After Effects, go to layer, go to new, and then after that you can choose solid as a shortcut. Sorry, it's a shortcut, it's a Command Y. So there is a shortcut. So yeah, I will name it like a snowfall. That will be a snowfall here. So when you choose a layer, you need to choose a white color, because snow is a white, so I will choose a white color. So after I can click OK. When you click OK, the snowfall, the solid layer, the layer is appear in our composition, like the timeline window and this composition view. After that, you can go to Effect menu and then go to simulation. There we have this simulation here. So what you can do is go to snowfall here. So there we have this CC snowfall. When you click it on snowfall, that already added our snowfall in this the solid layer, but you're not seeing right now. If you don't see it, what you can do is you can uncheck the composite with original. So when you uncheck it, so that will be start seeing our snowfall. If you want it like this view to be a single view in After Effects, what you can do is you press tilt key at the underneath of the escape key. So what you can do is you can simply press the tilt key. So you hover your mouse on the like a project, like those composition view or project view or whatever window you want it. So you can press combining with the tilt key, that will be bringing up one screen big, just like that. So if you press again, that will be going back to its normal view. So now we have added our snow, but you're not seeing very clearly enough. What you can do is bring up your window a little bit bigger, just like that. So after that, you can, what you can do is you can simply increase the size. So at the when you added effects in After Effects, you just now separated the effect window here. So what you will see is you can change the setting in effects panel. So let's start with the size. I want to increase the size just like that. So after that, there is opacity is 50%. I can increase the opacity. Now you're seeing the snowfall is really obvious now. So you can change the variation, and then you can also change the speed, but I will not touch the speed, but I will use the wind a little bit to the side of it, so that will be like a windy thing. And then after that, let me increase a little bit of size. Let's say really big thing, because inside of our cube that will not be seeing it. So now we have a snowfall setup, so we like it. So after that, in Snowfall Effects, there's an animation is already involved. So what you can do is press space bar on your keyboard, so that will be start seeing your snowfall just like that. If you press Tab key, so that will be bringing up your window, a big screen here just like that. So now you're seeing the big screen and the snowfall are started. So that is how easy in After Effects. Of course, there will be not really CGI thing. You're not seeing the snows dropping and then seeing the snow floor and the on the wood floor, so that will not be I will not be going detail for that, but my point is how easy to do animation in After Effects. So that is, now we have added just a simple solid layer, and then adding a simple some simulation effect. So now we have a snowfall, but our idea is the snow should be only inside. So there is an idea. Of course, you can do the outside, it depends on you, but I want to show you the max thing as well. So to max it out, the snowfall is make sure that your snow layer is underneath of the snowfall. You can it's under, but you can be in between, we cannot stack it now you can see that max is our it's underneath of the max layer, our snowfall, but in between there's a background layer, so that one will not be that max. We can't do that. So make sure that your snowfall layer should be just beside, how to say that, just underneath, need to be close one layer just like that. Max and the snowfall, when you stack it just like that, what you can do is come back to this track mat here. So we have this track mat at the After Effects. So the button, you click on none, and then what you will see is you will start seeing the some now it's a loading, because the snowfall is some effects are used, so that's why my computer is slow. So use the alphabet max. So when you click the alphabet max, what you will see is now you are seeing only our max layer is where, so the snow will be falling. So now at the outside of the house, everything is removed, just only appearing inside our max. So now let me play it back. So what you will see is just like that, snows are falling inside of those like a glass house, So now there's too long. Let me bring my walk area just a simple just like that, maybe 5 seconds. So let me play it back. So now you see that the snows are started falling. We have done some like a snowfall animation. So that is how easy using the max and using the effects in After Effects. So that is how we done the snowfall. So after that, the idea, the second one is we want to add the light effects. So for the light effect in Illustrator, we built this stroke vector thing, but when we imported to After Effects, it become just one layer. We can do much right now, but in After Effects you build the vector layer in Illustrator. So what we can do is select that layer and right click on that layer. After that, you can go to create and then create shapes from vector layer. So that means After Effects is remembering all the vector information and converting it to one new layer. Now you can see that added one new layer automatically. After that, it is changing the After Effects building layer. So now you can click that. Now you start seeing only path and all the layer are building in After Effects. So it means you can use the pen tool in this After Effects. We can use the pen tool and you can draw it. It is the same thing, but now it's a very simple lighting, but I want to, encourage to use in Illustrator if things are complicated. Using the pen tool in After Effects also might not be a good way to build for complicated things. So that's why I build things in Illustrator, and then I can simply right click, and just now I show you right click, and then after that create, and then create shape from vector. That is the same thing, converting all the vector things into After Effects built-in thing. So now I can delete the light effects here, the light layer. So now we have the light, the path, and all the things are already, we can move. Let's say you can start moving around. So if you select that, the path here, so you go to open your arrow here, so you can see that all the paths are in vector. So what you can do is you can start moving things around just like that. Just now we can't move it, but now we have converted to like a After Effects building shape. So to start, what we can do is let's start from the bottom one. So the light effect will depends on you how you want to create, but my idea is I want to be like simple trim path, and then lightings are sweeping like a spinning around the cube. So what I can do is go to your we have this group thing here, so all the groups are just one light stroke. So that one also important. So you start with your any group here. So I will start with group 4 here. So after that I can go to add menu at the right side here. So make sure you select the group 4 layer. After that you can go to add menu, so and then you go add trim path. So trim path is very good. The good things that we can trimming all the stroke layer, because we built the stroke in Illustrator, so that's why we can use the trim path here. If not, let's say you are using the those kind of solid, it's not with the stroke thing. If you are building this kind of let's say we have built this is not stroke, or this is an example thing. So if you are building like a fill layer in After Effects, so that will not be trim path, might not be really useful for that. Trim path only works for the stroke layer. So let's say you edit on that layer, you edit like a trim path here. So what you can do is that you cannot do much with this thing, but you can do that. My idea is the light stroke effect need to be in stroke, so that will be also somehow we need to build stroke or fill layer. That will be before we start animating, you need to build things previously. So that is how I build the stroke in Illustrator. That's why now I am using the trim path now. So when we have added the trim paths, what I can do is simply add one keyframe. So adding keyframe will be locate your timeline head here, so the time indicator. After that you can press on your start this stopwatch. Once you click it, you will see that there is the keyframe is added here. So after that what we can do is go to a little bit, maybe 2 seconds. So after that you can increase your trim path. Now you see that the trim path is already at the other way going. So what we can do is you can change here. We have this direction thing, so click on that direction. So that will be the direction is changing your trim path. Now you see, now it's we're not seeing they are not going the right direction. What we can do is you can bring it down your end value to 0 point. So after that you can start seeing that now we are playing back our thing. So now you see that all the things are going towards at the top. So after that what we need is we want to when we sweep it the stroke to the left to right, and then when the point is completing the stroke, we want to sweeping back all the stroke from the start to end. So to do that is I can simply add one more keyframe here. So I will add end stopwatch keyframe. So after that, once we have almost getting to the top, we will be start those kind of the cleaning up the back sweep. So now I will be increasing all the back sweep just like that. So that will be like a lighting is sweeping like a lighting really thing. So the realistic, so go to the lighting. So after that it was sweeping. If you want to adjust, you can adjust the keyframe here. So that will be depends on you. So I can simply put like that. Then so that is how the lighting. If the lighting is now too slow, so what I can do is I can squeeze all the keyframe getting closer to each other. So I can just simply hold in the option key, and then you can squeeze closer to it. So when we see that, if you want it getting closer, that will be much faster. If that will be too far. I mean the animation will be too slow. So now let's play back. So now that one is not bad. So after that, I mean I want to, let's say this is a really not really good looking things, because I mean the light should be, some lighting effect should be, there's a speed involved, so maybe the head and the tail need to be different size. So to do that, go to a stroke. So now you see that there's a stroke here. Let me bring it up a little bit. So there's a stroke arrow, so you open the arrow. So in the stroke, this property, what we have is a taper here. So open the taper again. So in the taper, what we can do is increase the start length value here. So when you increase it, now you see that the stroke is at the head and the tail is different size. So now you increase the start length. If not the right thing, what you can do is you can bring it down. You can bring the end length just like that. So that will be the head and tail, the different size. Also that will be look much similar to the lighting sweeping thing. There's a speed involved, so the tail is a little bit smaller, the head is a bigger thing. And also one thing what we can do is now you can see that the edge is really sharp. So what we can add is go to butt cap here and then make it round cap. So that will be making our thing also much look nicer, those the sweeping like effecting. Now we see that the effect is done. So let me play it back. Get like shorten your walk area here. So when we play it back just like that, so now you see that all the things are sweeping just like that. So that is really close enough that the effects lighting. So I like it. Let me continue to the other stroke. So it's the same process. That will be a really repeating thing. So what I can do is I can copy the keyframe in After Effects. So now I have done this keyframe trim path thing. So I can simply copy is a Command C, or you can go to edit menu and then you can just copy thing here. So you can just simply copy it. When I have copied the keyframe here, I can go to group 3. So make sure you locate your timeline, because the lighting sweeping will be one after one. So not to be the same like simultaneously, it's not appearing. So we need to move our time indicator a little bit after the first lighting effect. So after that I will be adding second lighting. So locate your the group D, make sure that it is the second lighting stroke. So I have make sure the second lighting stroke. After that I can, just now I have already copied, so I can simply paste my keyframe here. So that is a good thing in After Effects. Now I can play it back. Now you see that the sweeping is not the right direction. So what I can do is open your group 3 and then go to your trim path, and then under the trim path we have this path here. So sorry, it's actually on the path thing. So we have a direction here. So just now we have direction is going from the right to left. Now I can simply change the direction right to left. Now if you play it back, now you see that everything is going the right direction. So that will be very easy. Now we have make sure that just now I did a B, so to change the walk area to see only our keyframe area only, so that we can repeat our animation just like that. So now we have the right direction, we got it. So second thing is we need to make the light some speed effect. So that will be making the tail to be a little bit smaller. So same thing, go to stroke, and in the stroke you have this taper thing. So under the taper, what I can do is I can increase the tail. Now you increase the tail length just like that. Now let me play back. Make sure the bar cap also should be the round cap, and then if I play back, now you see that wow, that will be lighting sweeping effects is done. So let's continue. So let's go back to our group 3. The group 2. I have already copied the trim path. So After Effects already remembered my information. I can simply select my group 2 and then you can press Command V. That will be pasting my trim path. I can play it back. So that will be the third, the light stroke. So after that I can change the direction. So to change the direction, open the group arrow and then go to this path here. I can click on that direction, and then after that I can play it back to see the direction. So now it's a correct direction. So after that, what I can do is simply I can go to the same process, go to stroke. We know that the go to taper, I can see, maybe that will be also the end value. So if not, you can double check it. So that is correct, and then make sure the bar cap to round cap, so that will be much nicer look. So after that, now we have done the light sweeping to the third stroke. So After that, the last one, same process. I will be make sure that my time indicator should be at the top of it. After that, I can paste the trim path here. I have already copied one time. If not, make sure simple process, you can go to your trim path. And other thing that now you see that my keyframes are only seeing the cycle indicator only. So in After Effects, we have like those many stopwatch property. That will be stacking after one another. So if you needed going to this exact keyframe, what you can press is in keyboard, you press U key on your keyboard. That will be bringing all the keyframe in your timeline window for your animation to make easier. So that is one tip. Press U, that will be disappearing. Press again U, that will be appearing your keyframe in After Effects. So in After Effects, we have the keyframe we have done. So simply copy it. Just now I have already copied. I just want to make sure that if you lose it, you can copy it again also. So now we need to go back to our group 1 layer. So that will be the last stroke. So after that, I will make sure my time head is at the right position, and then I can simply paste it. So now the trim path is already pasted. I can play it back. That is the same, the right direction. We have done it. So after that, go to group 1, open your head. After that, go to the stroke, taper, and then make sure your taper is the right thing. So after that, go to butt cap, make sure round cap. So now we have done everything. So I will press U so that I can see the keyframe only. When I play it back, now you see that all the the lighting sweeps are done. So now you see everything is that is not really the pretty CGI thing, but to start with the animation in After Effects, I want to show you this simple how we can build easily this lighting sweep in After Effects. So make sure that the basic concept is you must use the stroke line in your Illustrator building thing. You can use the, just now I show you building a fill, making a fill stroke will not be useful. Make sure that only one stroke path that needed, so that we can use the trim path in After Effects and we can do the same technique. That will be useful. Just now I show you the taper also only useful for stroke only. It will not be applying to the shape fill layer in After Effects. Okay, so now we have done the snowfall and lighting effects. So I think that will be enough. Even I can stop it. Let's check the time now. So it's a 32 minutes. So let's add the playing back the CGI reveal thing. So now we have done this thing. What if we add the one blur thing? Now look much nicer to do it. So what I can do is now we have this lighting sweep light here. So it is a meaning I want to rename it again. So that will be light sweep 1. So maybe I want to add one more light sweep at the bottom, because I need to, the lighting need to be blurred at the bottom. So I can duplicate it, go to edit menu, duplicate that layer. So after that, I can select the bottom layer and go to effect menu. If you don't, now I want to add the blur effects. In After Effects, you can go to effect menu and look for blur, but that will be tough for the new, for beginner in After Effects. But the easier way, what we can do is go to the right panel here. We have this effects and preset. So you click on that. We have this the box here. So now we know that the word is a blur. So I don't need to type anything. Just type BLU or blur. So now you are seeing everything. The included blur effects are, now we have this listed. So you can simply choose whatever blur you want, but I will choose this Gaussian blur. So double click, make sure your layer is selected, and then after that you double click on the Gaussian blur. Now Gaussian blur is already applied, but we're not seeing right now. But what I can do is increase your blurriness to the maybe just like that. Maybe it will depends on you. I will use the maybe, what if we add the 40? So that will be, also the blur should be a little bit of the color, so I can change the color. So to change the color also, I can add the color effects in After Effects. So just type that, that will be fill. So I type the fill and then fill effects appear. So double click on that fill effects. Now our fill effects appear, so I can click on that red color swatch here. So now I can change whatever color I will add. Because the blue, the lighting here, so I will add the blue and then make it a little bit lighter. So that will be our lighting is added. And then if we play back, that will be much like a lighting sweeping thing. There is some blurriness at the bottom of it. So that will be somehow, so how easy to make some effects in After Effects. So after that, I will continue with the like a CG revealing effect. So the idea is I have this hand. So the hand will pop up from the bottom. So I will not be telling everything a lot. So to make it quick, go to position keyframe. So what we can do is you can come back from the left to right, or top to bottom, whatever you want, you can do it. But my idea is we will from the bottom it will be appear. So go to position keyframe. Make sure that we need to be, the hand should be at the first. Because the animation should be after the hand press the button that will be playing back. So my hand will be come up, but before the hand, we need the playback button should be like a YouTube thing. You see that there is a playback button is first. So now it's stacking is a wrong order. So I can simply, my hand should be at the top of the playhead. So that will be here, the play button. So I change my layer stacking. The hand should be at the top. Simply just click and drag at the top. So after that, we need to see the button first. So in After Effects, because now our indicator is at the first, or wherever my indicator, my layer is stacked everything at the same time. So if you want to see, you don't want to see the layer, you can simply bring it back. So that will be disappear in your hand just like that. So that will be, some editing concept as well. The idea, the technique that you can, when you touch the head, that will be appear. If you lose the head, that will be, you are not seeing the hand here. So just like that. So after that, we start with the play button. So after that, I will see my hand. So when we play back, the hand will be come out. So go to your hand just like that. After that, bring up make sure you add the one keyframe position. So that will be end keyframe. I want it like a position here. So that will be end frame, but touching the head, the play button. So after that, I will be at the front of it. That will be bring up from the bottom. So really at the bottom, disappearing from our scene. So after it will come up. So and then after it will be touching. Now it's going over. It doesn't matter. You make sure that your keyframe selected, and then you can reposition it. Touching the keyframe. So when we play back, now I can see that now the hand is come out. So now it touch. But if too slow, so make it like getting closer. In After Effects, we have this easy ease as well. What you can do is select your keyframe, and then you can press F9. So that will be easy ease. So now we can play back. So that hands come up. So when you touch the button, let's make it like scale it a little bit. So that will be somehow like mimicking like simulating those effects. So I can add simple like a scale keyframe here. So after that, when it touch the button, our hand should be a little bit small. So I will keep it like a little bit like maybe just simple 93, or what if 95. So that will be a little bit small hand effect touching. So bam. So after that, it tap it. So after that, I want to come back to normal. So use your end keyframe, copy it, and then paste it. After that, use your first keyframe, copy it. After that, move a little bit time head, paste it. Now you can see that your playback touching, it come back. So after that, everything should be disappear. The hand and the bottom. So I will cut down. Come back to your layer. If not, what you can do is you can select your layer, press Command Shift D. That will be splitting where your time head is. So splitting all the selected layer. After that, you can simply delete your layer. So when we play back, that will be like a come back, the hand, press it, and then the animation will start. So in effects, so now it's not revealing. So to do that, what we need to do is pre-compose all the effects underneath it. The background and the snowfall and all the lighting effects. So what I will do is select your light sweep from until the background layer. Using the shift key. So when I have selected all the layer, right click on that layer and you can pre-compose it. So that will be making grouping thing. So that will be pre-composed. So I will name it like what do we call snowfall? Snowfall, and then after that was snowfall 1. So I will press just like that. I click OK. Make sure you choose the move all attributes into a new composition. So after that you can click OK. So now we have a composition set up. So I will move this composition a little bit back because we will have this just a simple thing here. So I don't think we don't need to move. So I will keep it like that. So when we play back the hand up, so before the start, for CGI to reveal, we need to see the sound like a before and after effect. So now it's a color. So we need one more layer without a color. So to do that, I will duplicate my composition here. So go to edit menu and then you can duplicate your layer. So after that you can, at the top should be, first thing is without the layer. So now come up again that we need a marks. So marks will be moving left to right and revealing things. So to do that, we have this like a complete color layers at the top. The bottom composition should be without a color. So I will close my eye for the first composition, and then after that go to second one, snowfall. What if we name it? Snowfall. That will be black and white thing. So after that, at the top will be this snowfall will be a snowfall, and then that will be color. So I will close my eye like the color of the composition, and then go to the bottom composition and you look for the effect and preset. What is that? There's a leaf color. So the leaf color effect is when you apply it, double click, and then your composition already applied. What you can do is you can leave all the color here, so increasing the amount to the color. So now you are seeing that all the colors are leaving. So now you can, there is some kind of like a colorization. So it will be choose your any color you want. So that will be, I will be using the blue, a little bit of it. I can make it so that it will be look nicer here. So I can click OK. So now our the effects is everything is going black and white. Now we want it what we want. So we got it. So after that we are revealing the color effects. So what we need is a simple rectangle masking here. So now I will open it back my like a color composition. So I need to mask the color. So after that, so that we are revealing at the bottom of it. So what we can do is go to, now we are not building the shape in Illustrator. Now in After Effects we have this rectangle shape. So simply use your rectangle shape, and then you can just simple enough, just make it big enough, just like that. You cover everything, and then also make sure that you're now you are snapping on the layer. Let me bring it back again, because just now I'm not seeing the shape layer again because I have selected in my composition. So make sure that you click away all the selection. So that one, make sure that you are not selecting. So after that you go back to your shape, the tool. So and then you add one more shape just like that. So after that, what we can do is you can go back to your shape and then go to rectangle here. So open your arrow and then right click on that rectangle path one, and then make sure you convert to Bezier path. When you convert it, the Bezier path, it means that After Effects is changing the path and shape into our customized shape. So now what we can do is you can add keyframe. So go to like a position, and then I can add position keyframe. Now I have added. So after that, that end keyframe will be moved at the 1 second, but I can change the keyframe position later. So after that, you can use your move tool, and then you can select your path here. So and then go back to your path, and then select any anchor point you want to move it from left to right. Now you are seeing that this will be from start left. So when we play back, I can add the just now I added the path here, so I will be adding one path here. Sorry, just now we add the not in the position keyframe, we need to add in path keyframe. So at the end we will need to add this one. Just now we can have it, so let me make it again. So we need to be at the path properties. The stopwatch should be at the path. So what I can do is now I have started here. So after that I can select my point again. So if you don't see, you come back to this path property here, double click again, or maybe just one click. After that you can select your anchor point here just like that, press shift key to select it back. Now your time indicator is at the right position. You shift it. Now that will be adding one keyframe at the shape layer. So now we have this, the sweeping is already done in our shape layer. So in After Effects, what we can do is the same method that we can use. There's a simple like a trademark thing. So that shape layer should be a trademark for our color composition. So I can simply bring down my shape layer just above of the snowfall color composition. So now we see that the snowfall color is already stacked and just close to enough. So after that you go to track map. So open your track map in composition. After that make alpha matte. So that will be like your snowfall color composition will be masking to our shape layer. So when we press it back, now you're seeing that just revealing the black and white to color thing. So now we have done the animation. So that will be also starting after our pressing the button. So what I can do is I can simply move my shape layer. Also, if you want to bring up the keyframe, so you can see that the keyframe just like that. So the hand will appear, press it. So after that it will be playing back. So I can move my walk area a little bit back. So let me like adjusting the position, press it. After pressing is done, only after the pressing is done, our playback is starting. So pressing and then playback started, and then should be our hand should be disappearing. So I will make it shorten a little bit just like that. So after that we have done this animation thing here. So let me play it back again. So that will be press it and then after that playback. But we are not seeing that we need to add the one white line. That will be somehow the CGI revealing white line. So what I can do is I won't be drawing a new shape and converting to Bezier, but we don't need it because we have this mark shape. Exactly, I can copy it because we want to sweeping should be the same speed and amount. So I can just select that layer and you can duplicate it. Go to edit menu, duplicate it. So after that I can bring it at the top or whatever. Just leave it and open your layer, and then that will be filling the like those color is filling, but I can change that fill to stroke. Go into the fill here. So you press it none. After click OK and then go to stroke, and then you can choose the stroke to be color. So when you that will be the stroke. The width will be depends on you. What if we put it like 20, and then we can see that one more stroke is appearing. So now if we play back, the hand tap the playback button. After that the CGI revealing thing come out. So that will be our animation. If you want it like too fast or too slow, you can like use your pressing F9. That will be easy ease thing. Also we can adjust it. Like holding your option key, and then you can adjust your speed just like that. So when you play back, tap it, and then after that the revealing thing come up. So that will be the animation. If we look it back, now let me, so now it's if you press the tilt key, there will be one window will be appear. If you play back, now you see that play button and then tap it, and then the CGI revealing thing is gone. So now play it back again. So that will be so now we got our animation is done. So that will be how easy to do things animation with the After Effects and Illustrator. Of course, there's a background. The Photoshop thing is also involved. So if you also want to learn the Photoshop, please let me know in comment as well. So that will be how easy to do CGI revealing, some like a snowfall, and then pressing the playback button, and then also the CGI revealing thing is done. So pretty much about it, guy. I will stop the tutorial right here. So thank you for watching this tutorial. If you like the tutorial or if you learned something, please make sure to Creative Learner YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on our Facebook page as well, so that you will be notified when we upload a new tutorial. Thank you guys. Hopefully I will see you in next tutorial.